Real Madrid are through to the semifinals of the Club World Cup after beating Borussia Dortmund 3-2. And what a game. Oh my god. This game was just exciting all throughout. Thanks to Gonzalo Garcia, we opened up the scoring, and what a finish. The cross was absolutely beautiful, thanks to Arda Güler, and the finish was just sensational. What a player we have, and what form he's on. In all of the matches this tournament, he has had a goal involvement, which is absolutely insane for a 21-year-old. And then 10 minutes later, Fran Garcia doubles the lead. And after we got the second goal, I do believe we took the foot off of the pedal. We thought that Dortmund was not going to get a goal back, was not really going to have a response, because up until that point, they didn't really seem all that threatening. There was one instance, however, in the second half when Yan Couto goes up for a challenge, and it is clearly a dangerous play. In my opinion, that is a clear red, no questions asked. But the ref just decides to give him a yellow. That's mistake number one for the ref. And then it wasn't until the 92nd minute when Dortmund finally get a response. Rudiger fails to clear the ball, and it lands perfectly for Maximilian Bayer, and he just slots it past. Mind you, the ref had added 5 minutes of extra time, and we had already played 2 minutes. So for 3 minutes, we would have just been chilling, honestly. We should have just played it safe, not done anything too risky, and strolled for the win. But Kylian Mbappe, he had different plans. What a goal. My word. He is slowly coming back into fitness, and that goal, it definitely pushed him up closer in contention for that starting striker spot. And what a beautiful find by Arda Güler, 2 assists in this game. There was nothing the Dortmund keeper could do. Mbappe makes it 3-1. And at that point, we're thinking, yep, that's it, game over. But no, straight after kickoff, Guirassy is through on goal, and what does Dean do? He makes an attempt to get the ball, gets a touch on it, and then drags Guirassy down. And of course, Guirassy's just going to exaggerate that and honestly sell the pen, as any competent striker will do. Now, this is the ref's second mistake. I don't believe that red card for Dean should have been given. And it baffles me that VAR already had 2 mistakes in the game. One with the Yan Couto tackle, and the second one is with Dean not going back and checking whether that was a fair red card or not. So Guirassy steps up to take the penalty. We're all hoping that Courtois is able to save it. Sadly, Guirassy puts it past Courtois, and he makes it 3-2. At this point, he has scored at the 98th minute. The ref only gave 5 minutes of extra time, and all of Real Madrid is going crazy. At this point, we're just waiting for the ref to call time. In my head, I'm thinking, okay, we're going to kick off. We're gonna just play a few seconds, and then that's it. Game over. In the dying seconds of the game, Dortmund literally get a Hail Mary. Sabitzer receives the ball in our box, and I'm thinking, he's gonna tie it up. This is game over. This is a nightmare. We are going to draw this game and go into extra time. He manages to get a shot off, and Courtois makes the save of the game. I don't know how. I don't know. This guy is not even human. I swear. Courtois manages to save Sabitzer's shot. And when I first saw that shot and the save, I thought it was an easy save. But, you know, after looking back at the replay, jeez, that was such a difficult save. And honestly, what a keeper we have. If it wasn't for him, we would have gone to extra time. And going into extra time, Dortmund would have been the team that was in the driver's seat. He managed to get by 3-2 and on to the semifinals. And now we face PSG. PSG, who, as I've said many times, is the best team in the world right now. We will be missing Dean for that match, and they will be missing 2 players as well, since they got 2 red cards in the match against Bayern. They will be without their starting center back, Pacho, and Lucas Hernandez. More than likely, Raul Asensio will be coming in to fill for Dean against PSG. Now moving on to the player ratings. Starting off with Courtois, I give him a 9 out of 10. He made 3 saves this game, and he played really well, especially after making that game-deciding save. Like I said, if it wasn't for him, we would have definitely gone into extra time, and most likely we would have gotten to pens. He is definitely one of the best keepers of all time. He rightfully earned his spot in that conversation. Next up is Trent. Trent, I would give an 8 out of 10. We saw him participate more in that attack, and he's just a very good right back going forward. And really, that's his position in Xavi's system. He is supposed to bomb forward, get into those positions where he's able to get crosses in or like we saw Fran, either be in position to score a goal. Next up is Rudiger. Rudiger, I would have to give a 6. I can't give him any higher, mostly due to that mistake. But his mistake did end up leading to a goal and a shift in the momentum. Now on to Dean. Dean, just because of the red card, I have to give you a 5 out of 10. Now, I know that it shouldn't have been given as a red, but to put yourself in a position where you get sent off and leave us with 10 men in that moment of the game where you can feel the momentum shift, hopefully we won't see a repeat of this mistake and he'll learn from this. Next up is Fran Garcia. Fran Garcia is literally playing like the embodiment of prime Marcelo. I have to give him a 9 out of 10. Throughout the whole match, Fran Garcia was dominating that left side. That whole left side, he was bombing forward. And of course, the cherry on top is his goal. And I just hope he can keep this momentum up and maintain this level so that way we can start off this upcoming season with a bang. Now moving on to the midfielders. We'll start off with Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham, I have to give a 6 out of 10. He had a really quiet game for his standards. I can recall one shot that went completely wide that he should have been more accurate with. And I expected more from him since Borussia Dortmund was his previous club. I thought he was going to have that motivation, that energy, or I don't know, that spark to do something, get a goal or an assist. Next up is Fede Valverde. Fede Valverde, I have to give a 7 out of 10. He got the job done all throughout this game. His presence in that midfield was very key. He had one shot on target, had one key pass, and just overall did a good job. Now we're going to talk about my personal favorite, my favorite player throughout this whole match, Arda Güler. For your performance, I have to give you a 9 out of 10. He was way more involved than in the previous games, which you could see, it paid off. 2 assists. Those 2 assists were absolutely amazing. And I didn't know that Ancelotti was keeping this talent on the bench. Now I know comparisons to a Luka Modric, Toni Kroos replacement, they're a bit out there. It's too early. He needs to make a name for himself. Having those comparisons, it's not good for him. He's too young, he's still developing, so we just have to let him be Arda Güler. Next up in the forwards position, we're going to start off with Vinny Jr. Vinny Jr. had a very, very quiet game. Didn't get on the score sheet, so I have to give him a 6 out of 10. Did look dangerous though on that left side, linking up with Fran Garcia. His standard is measured by the goals, his output. And we can't have him go 1-2 matches without scoring. And lastly, Gonzalo Garcia, the man of the tournament. Your performance earned you a 8.5 out of 10. More and more, he's looking like that player that has to be part of the first team. At this point, we're probably going to have to start considering whether we want to keep Endrick or Gonzalo Garcia for this upcoming season. Minutes are going to be limited for sure, and we can't have 2 young players on the bench getting little minutes. Now on to the subs. Real Madrid made 5 subs in this game, but only 3 of them played enough minutes to actually get a rating. Of the 3, they were Luka Modric, Kylian Mbappe, and Dani Ceballos. Starting off with Dani Ceballos, I have to give him a 6.5 out of 10. He played a bang average game, nothing to write home about, and didn't really do anything too bad. Next up is Luka Modric. Luka Modric, I would have to give a 6.5 out of 10. He did an average job. However, I will have to say he did lose the possession 4 times, and his mistakes could have possibly led us to losing the game. And lastly, we have to talk about Mbappe. Mbappe, after his goal, I have to give you an 8 out of 10. He looked more fit. He looked more hungry to get involved. He wanted to get a goal, and he eventually did, getting that amazing goal. And now our next challenge is going to be PSG. If we win against PSG, then we will play the winners between Chelsea and Fluminense. This will be the biggest challenge that Xabi Alonso is going to face. But I believe that if anyone can defeat PSG, it's Xabi Alonso. What did you guys think of the match? And was it a red card for Dean or no? Let me know down below. Hala Madrid!